What is up, world? Welcome back. Charge the Game podcast. And Coach White comes out and justifies Caitlyn Clark playing off the ball. Now, if you watched my video yesterday, I kind of alluded to this. In fact, I'm certain that I guessed what Coach White was going to say. We noticed changes in the lineups. Lexi Hull, who is Caitlyn Clark's, one of her go-to, players, she gets benched. Aarie gets the start. Now, I'm starting to think, has Aarie McDonald convincingly won over some part of his locker room? See, it's starting to kind of make sense to me. Has Aarie McDonald won over some parts of Coach White? Because she's very interested in seeing Aarie McDonald as the primary ball handler. And also, guys, in my video yesterday, I said that Caitlyn Clark, maybe Coach White, maybe this organization doesn't want her to move too hastily. We know that Caitlyn Clark can get antsy. We know that Caitlyn Clark is highly competitive. Are they protecting Caitlyn Clark from herself by limiting her mobility? Well, let's hear what Coach White had to say. I like the ability to have two primary ball handlers on the floor, being able to give the opponent different looks. Quite frankly, for C, aka Caitlyn Clark Kent, especially not having to have her play under duress 94 feet, will continue to work on that. Interesting, guys. And I know a lot of people want to see Caitlyn Clark as the primary ball handler. I do too. I also want to take time to acknowledge that this is a good point by Coach White. A lot of us may not like it, right? I feel like she could have rotated Aarie McDonald and CC to, be primary ball handlers in that game. Ideally, you would want Caitlyn Clark to have majority of the ball handling. But we also have to think, guys, Caitlyn Clark is fresh off of that injury, right? So it does make sense. That's why I alluded in my video yesterday that this was something that this organization and this head coach wants, because they don't want to chance Caitlyn Clark being out the rest of the season, right? Two, Aarie McDonald, man, she plays at a different speed naturally. I know that Caitlyn Clark likes to play fast, but Aarie McDonald plays very fast. I think that, if I'm being honest, that the camaraderie with Aarie McDonald amongst the other players that are against Caitlyn Clark, they seem to enjoy playing ball with her more. And this is where the problem is going to come in, because this team has not done a great job. This organization has not done a great job of making Caitlyn Clark feel empowered, making her feel like, hey, this is my team. It doesn't really help that Caitlyn Clark is soft-spoken, that she has a reputation of being the American sweetheart. You'd rather Sophie Cunningham kind of be the Draymond Green so that she can be what Steph Curry is to the Golden State Warriors. But at some point, I think that Caitlyn Clark is just going to have to speak up. I think that Caitlyn Clark is going to have to get a little bit out of character like we know she can. And I think that Coach White is obvious, guys. It's obvious that Coach White is no longer a fit. She has been fool's gold, okay? She has been fool's gold. I know she likes to sit there with a straight face, crossing her arms, like you see here in Exhibit A, guys. I think that this job for Coach White has been too big for her. I think she's in over her head. I think she's bitten off more than she can chew. She has this thing where she tries to appease to, players she's had old ties with. You saw that with DeWanna Bonner. She brought over Natasha Howard. In my opinion, from what I'm witnessing, it seems like Coach White is giving everybody reassurance of their role. However, there's only so many minutes each player can play. There's only so many players that can start. And I think that all these players are under the impression, based off of what Coach White has told them, that they are relevant, that they are important, and Caitlyn Clark is not. Caitlyn Clark isn't the type of person to lead with her ego. If this was Angel Reese's team, do you guys honestly think Angel Reese would go through half of this? No. Coach White is not the fit. They need to get a male coach in the building ASAP. I would love to see that with Caitlyn Clark, at least just for one season. I mean, because at this point, man, there's more drama off the court than it is on the court. That locker room doesn't seem like they're all gelling. Yes, I know that they won the Commissioner's Cup. When anybody has a few extra thousand in their pocket, it's going to look like everything is okay, right? But back to the subject at matter. Do you guys like the fact that Coach White is being cautious with Caitlyn Clark? What is that really telling us here? They easing her back into, WNBA shape, which in my opinion doesn't take much. I mean, they blow layups left and right and free throws. But anyway, do you guys think that she's coddling Caitlyn Clark to protect Caitlyn Clark? Because if I have to be honest, like I told you guys, I wouldn't have brought Caitlyn Clark back this early. But obviously, Caitlyn Clark may be being a diva on the sideline. We've already saw reports where Caitlyn Clark is saying that this injury, guys, this injury-riddled season has taken a toll on her mentally, right? So I don't really have high hopes in the Fever making a deep run in the playoff. This is going to be an average season at best. It's what it's shaping out to be. So let's gauge the comment section on X, see what the consensus are. And you see here, she's a clown. When does White ever have anything set up where Clark doesn't play under duress? And guys, to be honest, Caitlyn Clark is picked up, from one end of the court all the way down to the other end, and she is under duress. However, Caitlyn Clark, ever since college, she's been okay with that. That's been her style. She's definitely been the it kid on every team she's been on thus far, at least since I've started covering her. At Iowa, I mean, we can't name another person that was on her team. Coach, it doesn't work, moron. I feel like maybe she should have tried the rotation of Aarie McDonald, leading her own unit, kind of like what we see with Westbrook. We know that he's a guy that's bull in China shop, gives you all he has every single play. Aarie McDonald reminds me of that. So maybe she will be good with her own unit. And maybe Aaliyah Boston was out of sync because of that lack of chemistry. Caitlyn Clark knows where to put the ball. It's like a quarterback and wide receiver. You put that second string quarterback in, you just don't get the same results. Bring back Christy Size. Okay. I made a video about that one as well. Keep doing this and you will lose the fan base in your job. Yeah. I think as long as Caitlyn Clark is there, fans aren't going anywhere. But I don't know about Coach White's role as a head coach. At this point, she should be ready to get out. She wants Clark to be someone else. From all the coaches that was interviewed, what game plan they have for CC, they gave her all the answers the same. Let her be her. Only White don't align with it. She's doing everything to fit CC in her scheme, which is true, guys. How about you fit Caitlyn Clark's scheme, right? How about you surround your star player with players that actually enjoy their roles? Yeah, I'm over her. Good coaches play to their players' strengths, not force shit that clearly doesn't work. Abandon everything that was working with the core starters. Abandon CC AB ball. I told you guys. All for undersized 3-guard ball that just shrinks the floor and slows the offense down. And what did I tell you guys? That Aaliyah Boston, her being lethargic, her being out of sync, is a signal that they did not agree with Coach White's lineup in her rotations. So you guys let me know what y'all think about Coach White's comments here. Like I told you guys, I've already sensed that they want Caitlyn Clark to kind of slow down. I also feel like the team is pushing for Aarie McDonald to get more playing time because of her playing style and just the way that they are, I guess, are gelling and bonding with her. You guys let me know what you think. Drop your comments in the comment section, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in on this episode. I'll see you guys in the next one. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, that like, share, notification bell. Peace.